It's interesting. I mean, he's quite sort of open about it. It's quite obvious the reason for his exile. The very fact that it is so near to the border. The house that he's going to move into, I'm told, is actually an old customs officer's house, just to show how close it is to the border. Quite evidently that the purpose is for tax reasons. And it's very emblematic, of course. Gerard Depardieu, the most famous French actor. It's, on the other hand, the kind of move that the government can shrug off a bit more easily perhaps than some of the other moves, such as Arnaud, because Depardieu is well known to be on the right politically, a rather grumpy, temperamental character who, the sort of person who would do this kind of thing. I mean, far more damaging, I think, to the government is the general disgruntlement that one hears of in business circles, and clearly that has much greater implications for the future of French economic development if it's wealth creators, business types, startups who are thinking of moving abroad, and that's obviously in a way where the focus should be. But this does draw attention to this 75% ban and the fact that according to some here, the wealthy are feeling victimised in France now.
Hugh, just briefly, from the outside, I was just saying, we look in and we go, this is a very interesting story. How is all of this perceived in France by the average French person? I mean, not just Gerard Depardieu, but the rich exiting. I mean, is it kind of good riddance or what?
It's a mixture, and I mean, obviously your political affiliation will determine up to a point your point of view. I mean, if you're on the left, you'll be saying this is very irresponsible, and there are plenty of rich people who are staying behind and saying, well, conditions are difficult, but we believe we have benefited from the French system of infrastructure and social benefits and so on. There are those who also say here in France we have this culture of hating wealth, and it's the old Catholic tradition. We've always despised people who are wealthy, and it all goes back to the revolution and so on. I suspect most people are pretty worried about this. They don't think it's a good thing. They are not stupid. They can look around the world and see how France risks becoming uncompetitive, and it probably is not going to do much good to the economy if these wealth creators are going. And they hear the sort of mood among many business people. But I think that one thing that needs to be said is it's very hard to get a true picture of this. I mean, the media really do play up every single move abroad, and on the other hand, the government really plays down the whole phenomenon. So it's different. There are two extreme versions of what's going on, and actually determining how many people are going, how deep is the feeling of fear, how seriously big companies are thinking of moving abroad, it's actually very difficult to know.